What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and before we even get into the video, I have to admit something. I was wrong. Based on the box office projections from the industry and from Disney's own internal projections, like so many people, I thought that Shang-Chi was going to be the lowest opening weekend for an MCU movie in history. Well, I'm here to tell you today that I was wrong. It's only the third lowest in history. It's only the third worst opening for an MCU movie that we have seen all time. So my apologies, and the MCU stands. I have never seen anyone celebrate. This isn't even really mediocrity. It's not really anything to write home about. It's kind of pathetic, but it is higher than Disney told us we should expect, which is what Disney's all about. Disney's all about setting expectations in a certain way to make you feel a certain way about it, to manipulate their fan base. And let's be real, after what we've seen from the past several months and years, clearly they're not targeting the highest of IQs. Clearly they're targeting people that will be easily manipulated, whether it's by the mainstream media or their own projections. And that's exactly what we had here. Look at this headline from Variety. Box office. Marvel's Shang-Chi crushes Labor Day weekend records with $90 million. So that is not the traditional, that's with the added Monday Labor Day in there, that $90 million. And the reason I say the third lowest of all time, the third worst of all time, is because that is 100% truth. When you go and you look at the MCU, we can scroll all the way down. I have it filtered by opening. Obviously, Avengers Endgame, this big domestic opening right there of $357 million. Infinity War, $257, down, 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 and down. Then you see at the bottom here. Now, these are re-releases. We're not going to count these, right? We're not going to count these ones. We are, however, going to count these ones. The Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man, Captain America, Thor, and there you have it, Shang-Chi with the $75 million opening. Just behind Ant-Man and the Wasp, in fact. Just behind Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, when you factor in inflation, of course, $65 million for Captain America and Thor, that's $78 million in today's money. So it's very important that we're clear about these things. Shang-Chi, the only ones it beat was Incredible Hulk and Ant-Man. That was it. Incredible Hulk and Ant-Man. Other than that, the lowest one of all time is indeed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So yes, the projections were off, and I think they were off for a reason. Because Disney wanted people to react the way they have. They wanted the mainstream media to pretend like this is the most incredible thing. It truly is a triumph that this is the most amazing thing that could have possibly happened. Now, it is off to a good start. It's off to a good start for Shang-Chi, but all is not over yet. We still have a second weekend, and as I reminded so many people sure are excited about the third worst opening weekend for an MCU film of all time, almost like we were in the same spot after Black Widow opening weekend a few months ago, and that resulted in such a big box office disappointment that, as we all know, Scarlett Johansson ended up suing Disney. She sued Disney because the box office results weren't very good. That's why she sued Disney, because she thought that the streaming release impacted the box office so much that she lost a lot of money, indicating that the box office results were not very good for this movie. And that's true. Based on all the data we have from Disney Plus and the worldwide box office, Black Widow may have just broken even. That's it. That is it. That is the most positive possible way you can look at it, is that it is just now maybe breaking even. And Shang-Chi has a long way to go before it can say those things. And when you compare these, when you compare Shang-Chi and Black Widow, let's look at Black Widow, who everyone was singing from the hilltops. What an incredible job Black Widow has done. It's incredible. This opening weekend is amazing. Haters BTFO'd. And then what happened? Well, we remember what happened. A 68% drop-off from the opening weekend to that second weekend. Of course, that's what we saw happen. Now, Shang-Chi, what is it going to happen with Shang-Chi? Is that same thing going to happen? After we get over $70 million in the opening for Shang-Chi, everyone's saying, oh my gosh, you got all these freaking people, these Collider fucks, right? The media, the shill, Access Media from Collider, the John Campias of the world. And of course, Simu Liu himself has been running his mouth talking about it. Now, Simu, I just want to say, I hope you keep this energy, Simu Liu. Of course, On the front page of Reddit all yesterday was my channel, a lot of other channels who, when the reports came out about how bad Shang-Chi was going to be, we reported exactly what was coming out because Disney's own internal projections, what they say were their internal projections, clearly designed to try to manipulate a fan base and a mainstream media to do exactly and react exactly the way they wanted you to react, right? Turned out not to be true. This movie made more money than we thought. I thought it was going to make about $50 million based on their projections. Makes a little over $70 million. Good for third worst opening of all time. Yet everyone is celebrating this as if it is Avengers Endgame, including Simu Liu. Simu Liu, I hope you keep this energy next weekend when we have a big box office drop-off. I hope you keep this same energy of laughing at your haters, but I don't think that'll be the case somehow. This story is not over yet. We have next weekend, just like with Black Widow. Just like when Black Widow came out and said, hey, listen, it did better than I thought, but we still have a long way to go for Black Widow. And sure enough, it has a massive drop-off. It has a massive drop-off, and Scarlett Johansson ends up suing Disney because of how disappointing the box office numbers were for her. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone celebrate quite so hard as MCU stans, the mainstream media, and Simu Liu himself are for finishing 23rd in a 25-man race. That'd be like a NASCAR driver who finishes 23rd just getting out and trying to shit all over everybody because of how amazing he thought he did because he was supposed to be in last place. That's basically what we have going on. And a lot of the excuses, I have so many people coming into my comment section from Reddit because Reddit is about the lowest IQ that you can get on the internet. People that just constantly are on Reddit. That's what it is. The amount of people coming into my DMs, coming into my channel and leaving comments, watching the video. Hey, thank you for the ad revenue, first of all. Thank you for coming to a week-old video based on Disney's own projections and, commenting and pushing me into the algorithm. I really do appreciate that. And one thing that I hear so much is that we're in the middle of a pandemic. Don't you understand that? The Delta variant. Yeah, I understand that perfectly well. And for some reason, it's not affecting other industries. It's not affecting concerts. Both indoor and outdoor concerts are selling out at a record pace. Unless they're requiring you to, show proof of a jab of some sort, then those aren't selling at all. But that's a different video. But also, I just wanted to point out, what we saw just the same weekend, right? The same weekend that you're telling me people are scared to go to the movie theaters. Let's watch a little college football. Can we watch some college fucking football? Man, it seems like they're really scared of the Delta variant. There must be maybe that's just one place. What about down here? What about down here at Texas A&M? That's weird. Maybe it's just a couple places. What about this? Hold.
Singing along to.
Man, that's so weird. That's so weird that on the same time you're telling me that we're in a pandemic. People are scared to go to the movie theaters. Don't you understand that we have scenes like this playing out? Now, we have to put all of this in perspective. When you look at this opening, it did better than a lot of us thought it would. It did better than Disney told us would. I think it was very strategic. I think Disney told us that for a reason, because they wanted the mainstream media and they wanted the MCU stans. These people who maybe they can't get to the theater because their mom doesn't want to take them out on a weekend or something like that. They can't find a ride to the theater. I understand that. But I think it was all meant to manipulate people to having this reaction. This whole Labor Day weekend record means nothing. Good job, Disney, by making people think that this matters, because when you look at the holiday opening weekends, you would think they're talking about it like it's some incredible accomplishment. There must be a lot of awesome movies that released over Labor Day weekend. No. It beat Halloween from 2007. That's the record that it took over right there. The Possession, Transporter 2, decent movie Transporter 2. One Direction, This Is Us. Jeepers Creepers 2, the American. Jeepers Creepers 1. Balls of Fury, Machete. These are not massive box office hits by any stretch of the imagination, but kudos to Disney. They knew how to manipulate people. They knew that this would be a good weekend for them to put and look like they smashed all these records because it's amazing, when in fact it's really the only big budget release we've ever seen on a Labor Day weekend like this. Ever. This has a long way to go. With a $150 million plus production budget, this has to make $375 million, right around there, to break even when you factor in marketing, when you factor in box office cuts. So it's off to an okay start. It needs to have a good second weekend before this movie can start to make money with Shang-Chi. So Simu, keep that energy. If we have a bad weekend next weekend, I want to see you keep that energy that you have right now. We'll see if it sustains. But there's going to be a lot of people that are very upset that I made this video, and that's okay, because your clicks count too. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.